Hey guys, this is Spark Blood Soldier here, and this is part 3 on what if Deku had Kurumu Kurono abilities, the heartbeat. And I hope you like this video and hope you subscribe. Sumi and Bakugo were in hiding places to catch the hero team, Ida and Ochako, off guard and make it a very quick match. When Ida and Ochako were going through the window of the building, Ochako then said, you need to be careful if you need to fight one of them. I don't know how dangerous they are. Well, excluding Bakugo. I don't know what Izumi's skill is. And Ida says, yeah, you're completely right, Ochako. Be wary. Even I can't outspeed things that could come close. And when Ochako and Ida were getting cautious on where the bomb and also where Zumi and Bakugo were, and when both Ida and Ochako keep an eye on each place in the rooms, I think it was going to be simple, but then something unexpected happened. When Ida tries to go into the stairs, he then says, alright, you need to get going before the bomb starts to go off. It's almost up. And then Ochako says, right. When Ida was looking back, watching out for Ochako, he then looks and sees Bakugo in a surprise attack. What the? And he tries to dodge out of that before Bakugo could even hit him with his explosive palms. Ochako says, whoa! And Bakugo says, a little too slow, weren't you, you metalhead? And Ida says, how did he get in front of us that quickly? Might have had the surprise attack on us. And then Ochako says, Ida, you go quick, find it. I'll take care of Bakugo. And Ida then shakes his head. Right! And he goes off finding the explosive device. And in doing that, then Bakugo smirks and says, God, I love when this Sumi's plan comes into action. Sometimes she may be stupid in mathematics. She got a good eye. And then when Ida was running, something unexpected happened to him. When Ida was about to find the weapon, he then sees a room that was like his house. What happened? I was opening the door, and why am I back in my house? Then we get to Ochako, and Ochako got defeated pretty easily by Bakugo. And Bakugo says, ha! A little too slow, gravity. And then Ochako says, what the heck? We weren't expecting you to do this quickly. Did you really find us out that quickly? And Bakugo says, nah, it was Izumi. And Ochako says, huh? And Bakugo then says this. Despite her problematic math skills are so shitty that I can't even bound to know why she can even read. For a second, she is good at manipulating at her odds. And she's strategic as I am. That shitty succubus got that metalhead now. Sumi then hears him on the comm and says, man, you really need to stop calling me that, you know. I can hear you. Shut it. Did you get him into your trap? And Zumi says, yeah, explosive boy. I got him already caught in my trap. Sumi then laughs and says, I used my illusion to snare him, and he's already sitting into my trap like a fly in the web. And Bakugo says, ha! The dumbass didn't even see it coming. And Zumi says, gee, you were exactly the same as him, giving a snide comment. And Bakugo says, "Shut it!" Alright, did you duct tape him? Of course I did. Zumi then says, what do you think I use for the web? Ah, Bakugo laughs. And Zumi says, "Hey, did you tie her up as well?" And then Bakugo says, "No, not yet, but I'm already am." And when both Zumi and Bakugo tie up the loose ends, Bakugo says, "Done!" And Zumi says, "Too easy." And All Might says, "The villain team wins!" Then when Zumi and Bakugo, Ida, and Nachago got out of the building, All Might says, "That was unexpected upset of overwhelming tricks, young heroes. Now, can anyone tell me how they did and why they should get a MVP?" And Momo raises her hand and says, "Zumi and Bakugo might had a little talk back, but they cooperated really well. They focused on their opponent's weak points and could capitalize on that with minor difficulties. Zumi using her illusion to overwhelm Ida, and Bakugo's overwhelming power. And then she tells how both Chaco and Ida failed because, well, they did trust each other. It's just they kind of failed on getting the right circumstances. If it was anyone else, it would have been fine. But with these two cooperating really well, it became difficult to do. And then All Might says, "You're right. Man, she really tells it out," and thinking to himself. And Achaka said, "Man, we didn't stand a chance against you two." And then Zumi comes close to Achaka. "Yeah, you made a mistake on the part. Me and Bakugo have known each other a long time. We know each other's every move." And Achako then says, "But how did you even know what we were going to do? We didn't even think about that." And then Bakugo then walks up when Zumi was talking. "Oh, that's easy. I figured out because..." And Bakugo then just says this, "Because she's bisexual." And Zumi says, "Embarrassed to hear that from Bakugo." And Ajaka says, "Wait, what do you mean?" And then Bakugo says, "Zumi is bisexual. She likes women and men. Her succubus powers work on both. Yeah, her charms really affect the person's awareness on relinquishing some information." And Zumi says, "Hey, Bakugo, you weren't going to tell her that. I was going to tell her." And then Bakugo says, "Gee, maybe I should tell you that it affected me as well, shitty succubus." And Zumi says, "Oh, you're so mean." And Achako got embarrassed on hearing these two say to each other and what she heard. "So, I was accidentally in your pheromones, to say?" And Zumi says, "Hey, I didn't mean to, but it was most specifically what you're going to say beforehand. Sorry." And Achako then feels relieved, but also wary of Zumi's quirk, because her quirk is a double-edged sword. It will affect women as well, and men. No matter how it would affect those. She can turn it off, but she doesn't even know if it'll turn off herself, because won't. She's attractive as hell. And then we get to the girls' dorm changing room and the boys' changing room. Zumi was taking off her hero gear and all the girls as well. But Mineta was sneaking a peek on the girls and basically being a pervert as he usually is. But Bakugo stops him and says, I wouldn't do that, you dumb grape. And then Has says, take it easy on me. Gah! Bakugo then smashes his head into the locker, saying, jeez, he spills it out, and I'm the one that's gonna save that Shay Succubi's ass. And Sumi says, I guess he really does care about me. And then we get to lunch, and Sumi and Bakugo eat together as their, well, friends, and Achako and Ito also eat with, well, mostly with Sumi, but yeah, Bakugo was with her, so it wouldn't do much. Both Ida and Achako gossip with Sumi on how her quirk is probably the most devious out of all quirks. And then Sumi says, well, it really is. How can I say? My aphrodisia can make it effect. If a strong person's will affects it, then it's completely useless. And Bakugo says, I should know. I broke out of it like 3 times. And Achako says, 3 times? And Ida says, what do you mean by that? Achako then thinks, something dirty Sumi did with Bakugo and blushes. Did you? And then Sumi says, why are you looking at me like that? No, it's not like that. It's mostly specific reasons I do it on it. If he's going so cocky, become a shout out Nancy or something else. And Bakugo says, gee, I wonder why. And both Sumi and Bakugo have a argument on that. But then they hear the villain alarm, and all the students were running out quickly. But then they see that it was just paparazzi who just wanted to have an interview with All Might, and then Sumi does something irrational. She flew up and then uses her aphrodisia to calm down people, and using her illusion to make it not be as big of a deal. And Bakugo wasn't affected by it, because he was calmed and knew Sumi's quirk very well. And Achako and Ida were the same as well. And Bakugo says, do you really need to do this every time, you shitty succubi? And Sumi said, well, I didn't see you doing anything, Mr. Explosive Guy. And Bakugo then explodes his hands. I am going to give you a lecture for all time, idiot. And Sumi says, ha! Give that a try. Nah. Sticking her tongue out and putting her eye, stretching her eye with her finger. And Bakugo says, that's it! Not gonna go easy on you! And Sumi says, flying away. And Bakugo chases after her. And Achako says, my, they're really close to each other. And Ida says, they're really close. That's for sure. And that's where I'm ending this video. I hope you liked this video and hope you subscribe. See you next time. Plus Ultra.